Hello friends, nippies, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be working on these babies right here. We're going to be working on some pretty cool Patreon postcards. If you guys follow my comic OFFcell, which is free to read online, it is 18 plus, please police yourself. It's on Tapastic, Webtoons, OFFcellcomic.com. It's uncensored there. And on Patreon, patreon.com/OFFcell, I have a tier that every month I do some traditional postcards customized specifically for you. You get to pick which of my characters you like, and I do a traditional postcard of them, mail it out to you. And so that's what we're gonna be working on today. I did these on stream, so the speed paint footage is from that. And I did 9 hours for these two, 9 or 10 hours for these two postcards, and they were really fun. I always have fun working traditionally because it's just nice to like hold the paper like in my hand, and I lose like that sense of like digital confusion where you're like lost in the canvas and like a screen, and like being able to zoom in, zoom out, transform, undo, like move, select, and layers and everything. It's just like here, like that's it, this is it. And so these are really fun. I can't wait to mail them out. They are of my characters Pim and Ryuko, and the theme is, listen, if you've been on this channel, you already know your girl likes to draw thirsty shit. So the theme is sex and drugs, all right, bitch? Don't. Disappointed? Maybe. Surprised? Not really. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I made these using the PH Martins that I got as a gift from one of you guys for my birthday last year. So thank you for getting me those. I really appreciate it. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. So we're starting off with my character Ryuko, of course, from the comics. And for these, I really wanted to try using my PH Martin inks again. They're super colorful, super fun to work with. I absolutely love neon saturated colors. And I really wanted to do kind of like a trippy, like acid trip type aesthetic. Just have lots of fun adding as many colors as I possibly could. Before I started these, I started the stream having already the pencil layer done. Typically, I'll do an under sketch, which you can kind of see here. It's like the pink sketch under, so like I'll do that with my lead pencil, colored lead, and then I'll do a pencil on top, and then we'll do ink. So I do have those in my sketchbook. I did some thumbnails, I did some other little samples, and then I kind of just worked that in onto the paper. To do the kind of like acid trip type effect, I wasn't sure how I was going to execute the colors. I think my biggest issue was like how they were gonna mix and how they were gonna look in the final piece in comparison to just black and white ink. So my goal was to have the focus more so on the patterns and the rainbow and the you know, trippy effect as opposed to the character. So I tried to make sure that my blacks and whites, my grayscales and everything looked decent enough to stand alone and not be colored, and then have everything else focus on the patterns and whatnot. For this one specifically, I wanted to do rainbow, so I went on like Pinterest and tried to find like as many patterns as I could. I tried like making my own, and so for this one here is where I started kind of branching out and having my own ideas. I started mixing in that little symbol, which is a symbol from his family in the Yakuza. And here I put on the masking fluid in order to make sure that it doesn't go outside and we can just focus on doing washes and just painting pretty comfortably. I decided to do, since they're each line arted with different colors, the top left one is inked with pink, and the bottom right is in teal. And so I decided to kind of swap the flower colors and put the pink / red in the bottom right, and then put the green flowers in the top left, have some like alternating type colors, and then make the expanding rings in pink and red in the top left. I think it turned out really nice. Like, I honestly had no idea what I was doing, and I improvised a little bit, and it turned out pretty nice. And just being able to sample it out on the paper was extremely helpful. I got to just think rather freely. I know it sounds like common sense, like, bitch, like, before you go into the final piece, you know, you wanna test it first. But a lot of the times, like, I used to just kind of go straight in. It's only been like in the last year that I've been learning more so to you know, just not be so annoyed at like thumbnailing, and just take the time to try things out, test them, color sample as well, values, just kind of understand your piece before you go in. And I go ahead, put some color samples for the glasses on the side. I really like those rainbow ones, but I figured it would be way too much. And as I was laying the colors to do it, I kind of left it at this stage because that yellow and blue looks so nice compared to the other one and how it relates to the picture that he's in. So I really like how that ends up turning out. Here I start adding little patterns and some more grayscale onto him because he looks slightly bland, so I try my best to kind of balance him out and then just finish him out like that. And I really like how he turned out. Other than his face, although I think the errors are semi-negligible, I actually really like how it turned out. I think the patterns might be my favorite part. Like, I'm pretty proud of those. I'm not very good at patterns and aesthetic type drawings and shapes and colors and stuff, and I think I did pretty good there. So for this one, it's Pim, my character Pim, and he's doing the most in this picture. I will say that. He's wearing a crop top that says, you know, F me. He's got fucking a happy trail. He's got his hand down his pants. He's got a tab on his tongue. He's got like that face that like I'm ready to go, although I probably just went. His hair's all shaggy. Like, he's just living the life right now. And the reason that I say all of that is because usually when I draw a sort of like, not even a theme really, but just I have an idea or something in mind, like every piece of the drawing for me has to cater to that like vision. And if it doesn't, I think the whole piece kind of goes to shit. And there's like little parts that are more important than others. And in this one, for sure, it was the face. And I was so worried that the face and the expression would not convey what I wanted it to. I'm so happy that I went in with the pencil a second time and really hammered out those details, because I feel like I did a pretty good job of getting that expression. My next concern was the arm, because the original sketch of the arm did not look like he was kind of scrunching it up on the side. And it just looked so clunky and out of place. In the original drawing, I had already kind of liked his body and proportions. So thankfully I didn't have to deal too much with that. His hand was also kind of a concern because I wasn't sure if it's gonna, I don't even know how to describe it, but it did turn out really nice. Like he's just grabbing the necklace and everything. For this one, my goal was to use, like, for the colors, my goal was to use more of like purples and pinks and more cool colors, because we hammered in on the warm colors for the Ryuko ones. So once I start adding the lines and just trying to get everything solidified, I start trying to finalize where I want the masks, the shadows, and just trying to make sure that all my line weights and values and everything work. So I look for some images on Pinterest. I find one that has like this deep purple black like background with like some kind of like neon swirlies and stuff. I tried to do like my own version of it, because in the original there's no pink and there's no like, the purple is more like centralized. And then after I put it onto the piece of paper, like it starts taking a shape of its own. Splotched some yellow on his face. I'm like, oh, I have to fix it with gouache. But yeah, it starts taking its own shape. I start trying to balance out the colors and the intensities, and I really, really like what it turned into. Like, honestly, I'm not very good at this type of thing. Like, just shapes and good aesthetic, like graphic composition. Like, I'm so bad at that, and I'm so proud of this background because I really did a good job on these two backgrounds. Like, honestly, I'm gonna pat myself on the back on that one because I usually fail terribly, and I was so worried with these. After I finished inking, I was like, oh my god, now the background, now I really have to pull this together with that. And this one just really came together. I used a lot more yellow and warm colors than I really wanted to, and that's kind of unfortunate, but it actually doesn't look repetitive because we have such a deep and rich purple background that it turned out pretty good, even side by side with the Ryuko. So I'm really happy about that. Start making some little grayscale adjustments there, start adding like touches of like the neon gel pens like I did in the Ryuko one. I made the glasses pink first, liked it, thought it was too much pink, added the yellow, and then I had to put gouache over it and make them pink again because the yellow was too much. So I ended up just giving the tab on his tongue and the bracelet, making it neon, and then I finished it up with the same neon yellow gel pen. Give him some nice little outlines there. So yeah, those were the postcards. Guys, thank you so much for watching that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought down below in the comments. Like this video, subscribe, become a nipple today, join the Nippy family. Thank you guys again. Check out my comic. If you are 18 and over, please police yourself. It's free to read. Check out Patreon. I want to thank everybody on there for pledging, supporting my dreams and my art. I really do appreciate it. You put a roof over my head, so thank you so much. To those of you that don't know, actually, our OFFcell Discord, my comics Discord, is now public. Of course, you have to be 18 or over to join. I'll leave the link down below if you guys want to join our Discord. Not much content there if you're not a Patreon, but that's where I'm the most active. I do still post comic updates and art updates there, so thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next video. Oh, woo!